Hey, this is Nyirjara, your Ascension Coach, and I'm back with a new topic, which is the process of reincarnation. Now, the journey of the soul essentially starts on the fifth dimension, but because it's difficult for us to understand what happens beyond the third dimension, we will start the journey by when the spirit spirit manifests itself into this human form and takes a birth and comes down onto the physical plane of the third dimension. Now, as soon as the soul is born into this third dimension, it has complete and total amnesia. It completely forgets the plans that it had chosen, the lessons it had chosen, the entire blueprint of what the purpose of the soul is to come here in this life. It completely forgets it, and that is by design, by purpose, because it is on the onus on the soul to remember what the lessons are. It has to go through the karmas, it has to fulfill all the soul contracts, it experiences the life as it is, its shortcoming, its potential, it learns that. And once it finishes with all of these, then it goes and decides that, okay, I have learned the lesson. It may choose to experience all the lessons, or it may choose to forego certain lessons due to the choice of free will. And then the soul then dies and departs and goes into the fifth dimension. Hi. So once the soul decides to leave the plane of the third dimension or the physical plane, it goes into the astral plane. It picks up all the memories, all the vibration and the energies from the fourth plane, and then makes a gateway into the fifth plane. Now this gateway means it basically meets all the loved ones, all the ascended masters, the guides, the angels, and most importantly your higher self, So this is the point when it goes and meets everybody. Now once when the soul meets the soul family, what it is called as the soul family or the galactic family, then it goes into the review system. So the soul then sits with all of them and they decide and they review the entire life. What were the times when the soul actually carried forward the soul plan, it propelled the karmas, or it finished the karmas. They decide on all of that in that review meeting, or what is called as the review team, and once that is done, the soul is, the life in 3D is very difficult, as you know, so the soul is really very wounded, so it goes into a session of healings and it goes into the session of restoration. Now this is the place where soul kind of re-energizes itself and comes back. Welcome to the part 3 of the process of reincarnation. In this part, after the soul is healed and is restored, it now goes into the life between life states. So there is what it is understood is, after the soul dies, it goes through this process, and before it takes the new birth, there is a time between that two, which is called as life between life. Now this is the time when actually the journey of the soul starts on a 5D level, because this is where the soul decides where to reincarnate, how to reincarnate. It sits with the council of elders, it sits with the karmic boards, it sits with the masters, ascended guides. If it wants to learn any new lessons and if it requires new skill, it will take the special study and download those skills into the soul. If there are any new soul contracts that it has to be used, if they want to create a new soul contract to understand different lessons, that also is done, so the whole blueprint for the next life is this being charted right now in this stage, which is called as life between life, and this is the most important phase where, after everything is done, all your soul contracts are filled, then you decide wherever you want to take a life, wherever you want to reincarnate, you reincarnate that again into whichever body, if it's